Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. We're back with some more Hades. What are we going to do today? We've got the sword. We have the sword. Better attack and move speed, spell special. Or a damage reduction. And plus 50 life total. Interesting. Or special attacks of critical damage. I don't know. Let's unlock this.
Wow, that's a nifty sword.
And we'll use it. Why not? We'll take Excalibur. We've unlocked it. Why? Yeah, might as well do something with it, right? And what are we going to take away? What do I want? But yeah, we're back with some more Hades today. I feel like playing it, and yeah, why not, right? Why not? I like Dionysus. He's always fun. Okay. So we get a damage aura with that, which is kind of cool. My attacks are really slow. Actually, no, we'll change back. I'm not a fan of that.
A future aspect. What sort of name is Arthur?
Actually, if we've got that, then we just want, like, big hits, don't we? Let's get that done. I was thinking now, I was like, hang on a minute, what can I do? We need to do level 5 heat and win with the sword, so let's continue then.
Put in extra work for those bounties.
So yeah, I basically want to reflect stuff, that's kind of like the idea.
For you, my cousin Zagreus, I wish to offer the most potent of the blessings I am able to bestow. Make wise your use of this, and rise toward us.
All right.
Special deflecting is kind of like a really good idea. That is kind of nice. But yeah,
Who keeps fixing that?
kind of just chilling at the moment more than anything else. I got stuff I'm still kind of working on at the moment, which is kind of nice, right? And
Keep them coming.
you know, just kind of like having fun, I guess. I mean, I've been looking forward to like certain stuff and playing other games as well, which is kind of nice just to chill out too. Plus, like, work is actually fine, like, you know, doing stuff. At least I feel like I'm doing stuff. No, it's kind of a thing where it's just like, I think people then start realizing just like how bad things are and stuff, and like I'm doing some work at the moment that requires essentially people to realize that like when you have a data set for a bunch of people,
Olympus, I accept this message.
you kind of need to make sure, yeah, cool,
No way.
that everything is linked up, right? So what I kind of mean by that is like a lot of companies will tend to do the bare minimum when it comes to like everything. And it's not through like, in some cases it's not actually through like them knowing and not knowing. It's just them being very silly about it, right? It's just like the lack of care. Which is kind of very annoying when you really think about it. Like, rules and regulations and stuff are only really put into place not to protect the consumer, but to stop companies doing stupid stuff. Right?
Delicious. Palm power.
Increase special damage, why not? And you'll find like a lot of companies like will try and set up a grace period or stuff like that, and it's like, is that really what you should be doing? To allow them to kind of get away with stuff even more. It's like it's kind of like the idea that you know that all companies will only do the bare minimum required to get anything done, and like I think people are starting to see that like that's not what you should be doing anymore. What's down here?
Hit me.
A lot's changing, but it's just nice to actually like get recognised for the amount of effort I put in as well.
After some consideration and on your recommendation, I tentatively need to make contact with the goddess Nyx again. She is quite distant from me now, of course. If you happen to know, did she receive the message well? Respond.
Well, Master Chaos, she can be a little difficult to read at times, but I got the impression she was quite surprised, even excited to have heard from you again. She said that she would think about how to respond, or whether to respond.
I see. Well, she shall find a way if it is warranted. I always did expect the world from her. There were times when I expected her to shine as bright as day, although she is night. And she achieved a certain level of ability. She left, and I could not find her.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Dash Strike doing more damage, but attack's going to be terrible for me. Could get one more of those, and my move speed is slow. Or Inferno Bombs, so I get more gold. I'll take that, because I already, like, am going to need more gold anyway. Ooh, Dionysus. We do like my buddy Dionysus, don't we?
Ready, lads?
But yeah. I've been loving playing, like, other games, though, like, in my free time and stuff, and a little bit downtime. Going back through Monster Hunter again is kind of nice. With Monster Hunter Wilds, and debating whether, like,
For another go at getting out of there, eh, Zag? Well, not to worry. We'll make something happen. Let's hop to it then.
Ooh, a Dash inflicts Hangover. Yeah, cool. That's pretty good, actually, you know. I'm debating at the moment whether to switch my main weapon, right? That's not to say, like, you know, my current weapon is terrible. I do like my Charge Blade quite a lot. But I also quite like the Switch Axe as well. And I was debating, like, whether going back to that or not and trying it out and just seeing it, or using it as, like, a different idea between the two. Obviously, at the moment, I still like... What? I think I'm like... What's my Hunter rating at the moment? I think it's, like, near, like, 60 or something. So it's not like that high, and it's going to take me a while to get up there, but, like... I don't know. You know, I would like to try some other stuff as well. Like, I always am just like picking out like one weapon and be like, okay, this is the main. I think a lot of people do that as well anyway. But sometimes I feel like it's just nice to have that change. You know? But that could be me. That could be me. You know, I am a casual when it comes to Monster Hunter overall, so... It's not like I'm going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, you know, I know exactly the builds and stuff like that. I just play what feels cool, man. And the idea of, like, the weapon swapping and stuff like that, it's why I like the Charge Blade. It's the idea that I can play, like, Sword and Shield and still, like, throw hands with the axe. Let's go for this. Both the 2-1s as well, so, like, of course I'm taking these. I still got a boon, so her boon will be sub bonus anyway. Attacks inflict hangover. Yes, please. Although they're quite slow.
Upon Olympus, I'm your closest confidant. You'd best remember this before you spurn me again.
Lady Athena, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I can't, like, betray my boy Dionysus, right? Like, he's my boy, my bro. But yeah, I mean, there are some, like, cool games that kind of caught my eye, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Plus, like, some other ones I want to kind of, like, keep an eye on and see, like, whether they're going to be useful to... or fun to play or not. Man. This sort of like protection malarkey and all being ranged is very annoying, right? Should be using my special more, I will admit that. It can deflect all these projectiles and I'm being an absolute baby about it. Plus the damage reduction.
I'm satisfied we understand each other better now, don't we? What do you say we carry on and get you from this place?
Threaten me and do what you want? That sounds completely unfair. Take the cast. Deflecting with the casting is pretty good. Yeah, so I think I put a video for Haste as well, which I quite like the demo of that, which is something that hopefully, like when it comes out, which they say it's coming out soon, we'll something we'll add to the channel as well. So that's kind of cool. And there are like a bunch of other games that I'm kind of like still waiting on to come out, and I keep adding to the list. I think there's another like Dark Souls-esque one coming out later this year, which is like is it Forged in Fire? Which I kind of like saw little bits of and was like, actually this sounds kind of cool. And it's a game where instead of like you having stats, you create weapons, and essentially they are your stats. And when you kind of like lose Dark Souls-esque style, you kind of go back to the Forge, which is like the bonfire checkpoints, and you can you have to then go back and get the weapon back as such. Like you lose the weapon, which I thought was one, a really punishing mechanic, but it also kind of makes sense as well. Because like all your stats from that weapon, so you have to like have loads of backup weapons and stuff, which seems also kind of cool as an idea, right? So I'm kind of interested in that, playing that as a game as well, but I am not too sure what it's releasing on as of yet. And then I saw some of the news about what Xbox is going to be doing in theory for like the new Xbox console as well, which was kind of ending the console war once and for all in a way. At least like between them and Sony, they're just going to go, you know what, we don't want to deal with this BS, and we'll just turn our Xbox into like a plug-in computer for your PC or for your TV. I was like, fair enough.
Kieran's shop. Pleasure doing business.
Like, it kind of makes sense, right?
Please be Meg. Tisiphone.
No, it's not murderer. But yeah, that's kind of like one of the things I was kind of like, oh, okay. So it's kind of like, you know, it makes sense from the standpoint of like, you know, wanting to make money, right? Because, like, why wouldn't you just allow people to buy the stuff and just let them buy whatever games they want to play them? I'm more interested on, like, the specs and stuff, on, like, how it's going to function, how much it's going to cost, like, are they still going to take it as a lost lead? And those sort of stuff, because,
Let's see here.
you know, that stuff is kind of semi-important. What else do we want here? I should just gain some levels in a way. I think I've got like a good setup and I'm not really that worried about it. I just think I need levels and stuff at the moment. I thought I might as well take that and just go all the way up the next like 2, maybe in 3. Sounds.
Made it to Asphodel.
But yeah. I'm kind of interested. Plus the whole Ubisoft news and stuff like that as well. That's going to cause some dramas. I did say it like ages ago that I'm surprised that the shareholders haven't been looking at legal action against most companies like this, and I think it's going to change quite a lot of the perception the companies have about their shareholders, because they're going to realize like, oh, we can't just muck around anymore, and you know they've effed around and found out, kind of like at this point. And like there's a lot of people that are also like not wanting to play Assassin's Creed Shadows, which will I play it? Will I, you know, go on about it? I don't really know. Like, it sounds silly. Like, it's going to be the exact same game as the one previously, and or at least like well, probably in line with Valhalla. And then you have was it like Odyssey before that? And like the formula hasn't changed anyway, and essentially all you're doing is just swapping out one motif for another. So if there's no progression in the game or the gameplay, there's only progression in the story. And to be honest, well, the story is interesting and everything else. The change from Desmond and stuff kind of hurt the franchise in that way. Because now there was no story for us to kind of keep a hold of, right? Desmond? Yeah, I think it was Desmond, wasn't it? My god, it's been that long ago, I don't even remember the guy's name anymore. Because now you've got no, like, coherency between what's going on and what the players are trying to connect with. It's like... It's kind of like, what did you want to make your game, and how do you keep your game fresh? And I think there was... like a lot of discussions on, like, you know, this is why a lot of Western games are becoming more popular overall, from things like China, Japan. I mean, even just other publishers that aren't as big as most of the big ones we now know, because instead of them kind of like catering to not even their shareholders either, just doing whatever they feel like it's trying to earn money, because they're more money orientated in the sense of like making a quick buck. It's kind of the American way of looking at the world, is I want to get in, get out, and do my bit and come out with a bunch of cash. You know, I want stuff to be instant, right? Oh yeah, I forgot I had that cast up. Which hasn't really helped a lot of companies when they've Americanized themselves that way. Not saying it doesn't work as a strategy. I mean, most American companies are more cutthroat in the business world. Hence why they're more successful. But it has got to a point now where that sort of mentality isn't what people are looking for anymore. Not just in companies, but in bosses, in employers, in most of the stuff as well. I think there's a bunch of articles as well about how, like, the Gen Z generation is, like, you know, the worst in the workforce. They laugh at that because it's like, no, you just haven't adapted with the times. You know? What do you want to go with? Let's go this way, shall we? No. Getting my attack speed up will actually be pretty good. Let's go here. Right? Like, as a company, you need to adapt and change with the times. If you don't, you're pretty much left in the water. And that's kind of what's happened.
Last thing I ever want to do is slow you down, boss. So, enough chit-chat. Now pick and go. Go!
Okay. Special faster, dashing. Regen time on that. I guess I'll take the auto reload. I'm not using it, but might as well, right?
It's me, witches.
This is kind of funny. I got like the perfect build to counter them. That's kind of funny.
You are so fortunate to have received the boon of Dionysus prior to my own. He, the most noble and important of us all, the god of wine himself.
I'm glad you agree, Aphrodite. Any health is worth more. Same foes, have to take damage, reflect weak. I guess life affirmation is fine. Extra healing is always worth it, right? And we'll go and take these, get more life. It's just always hilarious to me, you know, like, everything is always someone else's problem, no matter whatever it is. Like, no one ever admits, like, oh, you know, I mucked up, I'll do stuff, and thing is, we're also kind of to the point now where everyone's scared to admit they've made a mistake, right? Like that's the other side of it as well, right? Like, everyone's scared that they made a mistake, and then no one wants to admit they made a mistake, and now we're stuck within the position everyone else is in. But hey-ho, I can just keep chilling, I can play games, I can work my 9 to 5, that's even really a 9 to 5, and I can do extra work for money because of the fact that, you know, I diversify my income. But saying that, though, I mean, I've got a house viewing, which I think is going to be interesting. Actually, a good shop here. So I'm looking to buy a house, which would be very nice as well. Hopefully it's like I've seen the photos, it seems pretty good. Is it worth the asking price? I'm not too sure. I'll take that.
Appreciate the backup.
But I'm going to go and see it anyway, give it a good look over, and then it'll debate on whether if I can put an offer in for that house and stuff like that as well, or want to.
Hiss.
Like, I'm kind of stuck in that situation at the moment where it's like, because of what I do for work and stuff, do I want to actually, like, think about settling down in a particular area? Right? Like, I moved all over the country for little bits and stuff and things like that. I've even, you know, I haven't really stayed in, like, one place. So, moving again wouldn't be an issue. But at the same time, it's kind of like, do I see my current, like, full-time career being what I'm currently doing, or do I feel like I would be doing something different, right? And those are the questions I've got to ask. And, like, if I feel like I would be doing something different, then maybe it might be a point where I don't kind of just, like, buy a house and kind of lock myself into that immediately. But, you know, I would like to own my own home. It's that whole idea of an investment. But even then, like, is it really an investment? Like, it's hard to even sometimes get the amount of money for a single bloke by themselves. Should clone myself. There'd be two of me and get 2 jobs. And we're in that point where I'm even thinking of, like, maybe I should just, like, buy a house with a mate of mine or something, you know? Because at this point, like, neither one of us will own a home by themselves, like, outright. But it's the way the world is, right?
Lovely chatting with you, Lerny dear.
It's one of the things where it's like, you know, how much stuff and everything else costs can always be very difficult to kind of analyze in the relation to other things.
Now, Slarbug.
You know, and kind of like back in the day, even though like some of us can actually sit there and eventually afford these things, doesn't mean that everyone else can. And it's like this idea, it's like, you know, are you one of the lucky ones or are you not? I would consider myself lucky.
Onward.
I've had bad luck, but I consider myself lucky in the sense that, you know, I don't worry about money in regards to like paycheck to paycheck or stuff like that, you know, and I have the option to sit there and just essentially do an FU move if I ever need to. Trust me, it's probably the most satisfying thing that I've got in my back pocket, that I can sit there and be like, one day, if something does really get to a point, I can just go, you know what, this isn't for me, I'm gone, and just leave, walk out the door, and never come back. You know? Sometimes it's hard to get in that position, but it does give you the reality to kind of think about a situation more rationally rather than emotionally, right? Because if I wasn't in that situation and had to live paycheck to paycheck, I'd probably like be more stressed and more worried, which would probably put me into a prone of making more irrational decisions based upon that information, right? I probably wouldn't end up thinking straight. I'd probably make poor decisions on top of that as well, and I may end up doing the whole move without actually having anything else to back that up. Not saying the choice would be wrong, right? Tax deal 5% of my gold as extra damage. We could stack up money here. And 3% damage to armor would seem great. Let's go big hits.
That'll do.
Just like in general big hits. Actually, let's see. What are we getting on the choices here first? Money. Oh, money. Yeah, we got money. Let's keep increasing the amount of damage I do here with hits.
He's fully recovered.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, what on like a more positive note is there actually anything to look forward to at the moment? I think that's like some of the time is like, although you have these realistic expectations of everything else, like do you have anything to look forward to? I mean, the moment I think I'm probably in that lull period when I'm kind of like, have I got any plans? Am I gonna do anything? Which normally means I end up getting like a little bit bored and stuff, and then I'll probably get obsessed with something in particular because I'm looking for a distraction. So that's been kind of going there. Managed to get a lot of work done on my D&D stuff, so like I'm now just waiting for our next session, which I think is like this weekend or next week. I gotta check that. It's in the diary.
Nice.
Ooh, double. No, go for another weapon upgrade. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in kind of like, what does everyone else do when they get bored, right? Like me, I end up like picking up a session or going back to something that I was doing before, right? I might even pick up my guitar again and start just jamming around with that. So that's been a while since I started playing, you know, since I actually picked that up. So that'd be kind of interesting. Special lunges ahead. Special does wide damage. Holy Excalibur aura is makes foes 10% slower. I think we'll take Dash Nova. We need to get it out the way. I may, yeah. I'm gonna say like I think it's gonna be prophecy fulfilled on that. Let's reroll this. Yeah, Dionysus. Let's go.
It's the butterfly ball.
But yeah, I gotta keep myself occupied for a little bit. Until like the next big event comes along and you got plans for that. Like normally when I get bored, I end up going for like runs quite a lot and just like finding ways to appease myself. So I think it's always like more important to cast a Plastic Rod, that's a heroic, take less damage from below a certain threshold. Using a fountain, we got like 1 fountain left maximum if we can get that. I think threshold damage resistance is going to be pretty good. Oh, and this guy. We get healing from him, or just increase my attack.
To a memory, what keeps the soul from fading. So, how's Achilles doing lately, stranger? I figured you could tell me since you've all this access to him, and I don't.
Okay.
He's forced to do my father's bidding, and sworn to secrecy apparently. I don't pretend to fully understand, but all in all, I think he's doing well. I hope you'll see him for yourself.
You don't fully understand, but hope. I see. Well, if you do get to the bottom of this little mystery at some point, you'll indulge me, won't you?
I'll see what I can do about it, sir.
My attacks do more damage. I'm gonna do my attacks do more damage. I'm not gonna get there. I'm not gonna get healing. I'm gonna punish myself. I don't want to spend gold now. I just want to have like more gold, right? I feel like I just want to have like as much gold as I can as possible, right? And then with like the damage reduction from the aura and things, that should be at 20%. I'm assuming they stack. So I should have like 60% damage reduction within the aura. Don't know. Someone that's good with maths and knows how this game functions, let me know. Do I get a 60% damage reduction with my perk and the aura on this blade? It would be nice to know. You know? I would be interested in finding that out. Admittedly, I am taking like lots of damage still.
I'll take it.
But you know what they say, risk it for the biscuit. Oh, I could sell a boon, more gold. I probably should have done that. I think the charge is what's kind of like not working well here, right? Although it's kind of nice to kind of get into places. What else was I going to talk about? Wow, I mean, like, I just feel like I haven't got much to talk about. Like, nothing much is going on. Other than the kind of, like, all the stuff I'm doing, kind of, like, keeping myself busy, right? Keeping recording, doing work, eating food. Actually, no, saying that, I am probably going to spend, like, my weekend making a cake now, because I do that when I'm bored. Oh man, I took loads of damage there.
Oh, that hurt.
Should have took the healing. Should have took the healing. I like it's like 2 hits. And then I've hit them like 3 times just to get them to die.
Yeah, might as well.
I don't know why I did that.
You leave my troops alone.
That wasn't that bad, actually. I did quite well.
You lived through all of that.
Now to collect.
Apparently so. I'm thinking of what cake to make, actually. We'll probably, you know, my neighbors will probably enjoy it. I'll make a cake and then be like, by the way, I can't eat it. Do you guys want some? Done that a few times, actually. At least in the past. Probably not so much anymore. I mean, I had issues with my cooker. I think that's kind of a reason why I stopped kind of making some at one point. I really do make a really good, nice orange almond cake and a raspberry sponge. That's always another favorite of mine. Not to brag, but when I put my mind to it, I can do most things. No, I mean, when I'm actually focused on something, like, I can get results. Sometimes they never go the way I want, but practice makes perfect, right? At least that's what I keep telling myself when I fail. Man, those archers are a pain with this sort of build that I've got. I keep thinking like, oh yeah, but I can deflect everything. Like, why am I worried about this stuff? I guess it's because I always have the rush downs as well, so it's not like I can just avoid them and also do everything else I want. And I guess I'm not used to this sword either, because I changed swords, like I kind of punished myself on that. I probably do want healing. I don't want to spend money though. And life. I guess I'll pick this boon up. I'll take the aid, why not then? I should be careful of actually like looking for the things as well. But we just lost like half damage bonus I had from that.
Oh wow.
Tell me something, monster. Whence did you steal that kingly blade you're brandishing about? It seems ill-fitting for one such as you.
Hey.
Oh, this? I wouldn't say I stole it so much as naturally wooed the fates into bestowing it upon me. You could say I'm kind of testing it out.
Ah, well then, I pity whosoever shall lay hands upon that cursed thing once you are finished with this testing of yours. I think that we can make it rather quick.
So yeah, the positive outlook. Do I have like high damage resistance with this?
You think you have the wherewithal to achieve victory? No, you don't. The roaring of the crowd fills me with strength.
But yeah. I'm sorry I'm not very talkative today, just, you know.
Olympus, I invoke your aid. Darius, watch out!
I'm guessing just feeling a little bit kind of melancholy, really. You know? You know? It's that kind of feeling of apathy, I guess. You're just kind of like, meh. It literally is the feeling of meh. Oh, you're down.
Now to deal with you.
The poison is doing quite well. Ooh, I dodged the wrong way.
We're not finished.
500 on a third hit, though. That's kind of insane. Imagine I actually took the bonus to the dash strike right there.
Thank you. I dedicate this victory to you, good Shade. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, it's an interesting discussion actually we're having at work today. Was the idea of like it's like language in general, right? It's kind of a weird notion that
Can wash away my boons.
we'll sell that. We'll sell that because it's worth money, and my special deflecting is still pretty good, so I'll keep it. Plus damage bonus. But I'm kind of we were kind of interested in like language in general and how we all communicate with each other, and yet we've come to agree that certain sounds like that we make with our mouths and stuff indicate particular things. And even though we have this system set in place, there is always the the issue of like still common misunderstandings between people. Yeah, I don't want to spend money. Let's go face this guy. He's going to give me gold.
Try this way. Hi.
So it's kind of interesting, right? Like, even though we have all these systems and everything else to try and help us communicate better, we still have the issues of communication, and we still have stuff that we're not able to communicate thoroughly enough between each other. And like, how did we even start that as a language? Like, wrapping your head around that in itself is kind of really weird. Right? It's like someone literally just went, that thing's an apple, and then we all kind of were like, apple. Like, it's like everyone always thinks like on the spot of just like us as a species and and our intellect and like how far we've come and everything. But like the more simplistic stuff is sometimes the more complex things that we end up looking and being like, hang on a minute, what? And I really do mean that. Like, right now, despite everything else that we end up doing and stuff, we still have this issue of, like what point did we start communicating in the way that we do now? And how did that come to pass? At what point was that the key difference in our evolutionary step? Like, because there are plenty of other animals that have the ability to use, like, methods of communication, like, vocally and stuff, and can articulate themselves through gestures and stuff. So, it's just kind of unusual that we've developed such a complex way of communicating. Like, I generally have a way to communicate my thought process and how I'm thinking about stuff with other people in a way that they can at least understand what I am saying, right? They may not understand the thought process, which is an even different entirely way of communicating on itself, but they can understand, like, what I'm trying to describe. At least maybe not the intent of it. Or at least the words make sense in the sense that they are words, I guess. Which is probably better than how, most people communicate. Doesn't mean it's perfect. Like, we always have issues with our system anyway, how we communicate with each other, so. Come on, dude. That's so unfair. Because you think, and it's not like we've just done it, like, say, once either. Like, this is the other thing that's kind of hilarious, right? Is as a species, through no way of even communicating with other people, we've created God knows how many different ways to communicate. So, like, on a genetic level, our ability to communicate and basically discover languages in this way is genetic, right? It's not something you can just kind of just brush off. Rosemary Jackson slower. Yeah, might as well actually. That Dubin's actually pretty good. Chop. I guess actually having the extra gold's kind of also helping here, right? Do we have healing here? No, we do not. I don't really want to buy anything either. I kind of like saving all this money. It's kind of nice. Guess we'll go to this guy.
Here goes.
Like, so we've done it on a repeated basis. It's kind of like the, it's like the finches from that one island, right? The fact that they all developed independently on a way to use tools and their beaks changed. But us as humans, we've kind of, like, developed the same thing in different ways, right? It's like all of them developed ways of using tools, or, you know, having an evolutionary trait in some way, shape, or form. I guess it's not like that, but, you know, you kind of what I mean. Like the outcome of what happened is the same regardless of how it happened. So on a genetic level, like we must be having like some pre-programming to, well, we do have programming to communicate with each other. Hence why we're social animals. It's just, it's kind of in a weird way that, actually, let's just kill this thing off. Really? I really hate those satyrs so much. It's just because the poison ticks on you, right? And sometimes they're very hard to avoid. There we go. That's down though. Max life.
Must be fashioning those things. I should be able to get back through here.
How many more do we need to go? Are we going to do them all again? If this doesn't happen, more satyrs, well, of course. You know, why not at this point? You know how much I hate them. I was doing more damage before. Really? This probably means we've got more satyrs coming as well, again. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like linguistics anyway. Like the interesting part of like how we develop language is always kind of like how do we get here, how do we get there, kind of like what ended up happening. I could take more damage. Take less damage, so I can level that up. That'd be interesting. Maybe I should mod this game and actually like be like, ooh.
Lots on offer here.
I could buy something, but at the moment, what, we're getting 5%, so we're getting, like, stupid amount of, like, damage up bonuses, so I don't really want to, like, let it go.
Prince Zagreus once more offers to Cerberus one of his favorite sacks.
Yay. So I'm getting, like, 200 damage on my attacks.
See you, boy.
Just from having the amount of gold I have. And why would I want to give that up? Why would I want to give that up?
We made it, Stygius. I hope this Arthur serves you well someday.
I never had any respect for Stygius, that blade you bear. Perhaps unfairly due to Brother Poseidon's sloppy form when once he wielded it. But now it seems quite different in your care.
I think we've grown quite close to one another, yes. Enough to where I've come to know a different side of this fine blade right here. This is the aspect of some Arthur fellow. Maybe the two of you could get acquainted properly.
Arthur? No name either of gods or kings of any realm I know. Then introduce us, as you say, to this new amateur to whom your blade rendered its services.
Prophecy fulfilled.
Darkness.
It's like, I don't know an Arthur, how dare you? No, you're not going invisible. I really want to know, like, how much damage reduction is that on the, Like, can you actually get it to where you're immortal?
This again.
But yeah. The language has always been a funny thing, right?
Your eyes deceive you, boy.
I kind of wish I, like, understood it more and was actually good at language in that sense. I'm more of an analyst than I am actually, an artiste. Okay, we take a death.
Oh, blast.
Yeah, I wasn't ever the artsy type at school or anything else as well. I was a nerd. I was the guy that when people would come to him with math problems and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's easy, you just do this. You know?
I shall not fall to you again.
Come on.
I kind of wish I was good at art though. You know, I've always had I've always enjoyed drawing and stuff, but I was never really good at it. Right? And of course I always knew a lot of people that were good at it as well, which didn't really help the situation. So it's like I would try and draw something and it just would never come out right. At least not in the way that I ended up like envisioning it as such. Like some things I was really proud of and then I get like a really, like I got like a okay-ish mark and I was like, yeah, but this is really good, like it's really realistic, it's got the same proportions, like the shadow wielding is really clever and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess it just wasn't great. And I think the one thing I probably take away from that is, oh my god, stunned on that, it's terrible.
Skelly power. You're merely stalling, boy.
Like the one thing I probably take away from that is like, even if like someone says that you're terrible at stuff, do what you want. Right? Like, the worst thing you can fail is you can fail yourself. Right? Like, failing other people doesn't matter. Not in the long run of things.
Out of my sight.
Like, I don't care if I fail on everything I ever touch. As long as I have something that I enjoy and I like doing. The only thing that ends up, like, failing is, like, other people think I failed. And I'm like, actually, did I really fail? I don't think I did. Ooh. 11 HP. That was close.
Olympus gave you quite the edge against me then.
Nah, it's all the blade.
You're quite strong.
It was all the blade.
I did it.
Not bad. I'm liking that. That was a good run. Interesting. More difficult than it needed to be. I made it more difficult.
Clever-minded prince again eluded certain death.
Ooh.
Up to a certain point. But
Achievement
then,
popped.
predictably, made one of his fatal mistakes.
I tripped and fell. And I love the replayability of Hades in general.
I did it, I think.
Like, it's so well done and well designed. It's unbelievable that this game even still holds up today.
Just keep and watch over the pull of sticks there, same as always.
Bye, Hypnos.
I always fancied Thanatos, you know. So put together and everything. I'm pleased to see you've grown so close. Things good between you two?
They are. Thank you, Mother. Say, Father, back when you drew lots with your brothers and wound up with the underworld, rather than the heavens or the seas, which would you have claimed, if the choice was yours?
I do not deal in hypotheticals, boy. Each realm has its host of unenviable problems. You have never experienced the cold and sopping sea, or the blinding heights of Olympus. I have, and I assure you, you're not missing much.
Didn't you try to leave the underworld yourself at some point? You once gave me that impression. I always thought it was because you hated it here.
I hate not having any choice. Enjoy the freedoms that you have. As you grow along in years, you gain more burdens and responsibilities, until they bind you.
True.
Can't wait.
True.
Achilles, sir, I've uncovered the hidden aspect for Stygius. Nyx gave me the words this time, and a vision of a noble leader among mortals. An entire armored legion of them. Arthur was his name. Will be his name, I guess.
A future leader among men wielding that blade. The mysteries of the infernal arms run deep, don't they? Although it seems that you and Stygius formed quite a bond.
Must be the regular feedings. Where'd Orpheus go? Nyx, I've come to know the god of swiftness, Hermes, though it seems to me he doesn't work directly with the others on Olympus. Do you know him well?
Lord Hermes is a point of contact, yes. Among Olympians, he works the closest with our operations here, and aids with shepherding the souls of the departed to our gates. Accept his help, for he is faithful to our cause.
He knows.
I get it. Thank you, Nyx.
Hi!
Hello.
Lisa, this is kind of personal and you don't have to answer, but I have to know. So, did you used to have a body and all that? Because I've heard of Gorgons, well, that you had wings and such.
Prince, so, look, that's something very private that you're asking, and I know you don't mean any harm, but it just isn't something I discuss with anyone, okay? I'm who I am. Besides, as you can see, I don't need wings to fly.
Well, that was inconsiderate of me.
I'm kind of curious as well. I mean,
seems fair enough.
You know, we've got to know the history here. Oh, let's collect my rewards.
That definitely came to pass.
Stygian played Holy Lineage, received service to the hidden aspect,
Holy Excalibur.
and wanton ransacking. We completed so many things. And we still have enough darkness for the rest of it. yeah. I guess that is it for today. Not really bad, but I guess
the shifting hell of Tartarus. You can't contain me, don't you know by now?
a bit more of a chill day, I say, more than anything else as well for this sort of run. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, do leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.